Soul. It's the essence of a specified quality. It's all of the immaterial and spiritual things that make up a human being or an animal. Behind me, the 2015 Kia Soul EV. It's an electric vehicle that Kia hopes will bring all of the things that make the essence of an electric vehicle. Will they pull it off? Let's find out. Well, in terms of its looks, I think it definitely has soul. It's a more modern, maybe even more futuristic look than the normal Kia Soul. After all, it's purely electric. And subtle styling cues let you know it, like no radiator up front, and cool body-matching alloy wheels. I think the shape alone is enough to attract buyers to this EV. I love it. The interior is a bit futuristic looking, but thankfully grounded in modern reality too. The seats are snug and comfortable and have a bit of blue in them to give a fresh, hip look. The use of color and different materials throughout the interior really makes it look very nice indeed. The armrest matches the seat pattern. I like that. Open it up for some deep storage. Moving forward, there's a cover which hides 2 cup holders. Additional storage here. You've got your parking brake, parking sensors, and active eco mode as well. No shift it yourself mode on the transmission, but I do like that they went with a traditional design. Nothing futuristic here. You get a push button start, additional storage here, 2 chargers, USB input, and a place to hook up an auxiliary smart or iPhone too. The climate control system is excellent. Heats up or cools down very quickly. You get heated and cool seats also for both driver and passenger. The infotainment screen is very large and really well laid out too. Of course, it also houses your navigation. There's also some info settings. You get access to great apps like Pandora and Yelp too. And Uvo, similar to GM's OnStar, keeps you in touch in case of an emergency. You even get storage as well. Very nice. On the steering wheel you have controls for Bluetooth. You also have your cruise control and also some menu settings here. Of course, you can also control your radio, volume, and station as well. The gauges have bold colors and are very straightforward. Nice large speedometer here. I like the digital readout. And this one tells you about your power and eco and charge settings and tells you your range as well. The one in the center gives you lots of different settings and useful information. To the left of the steering wheel you have your traction control off button. I don't recommend touching it. Heated steering wheel. Also, you can open up the charger in front, adjust your lighting, and set the timer for your charging. On the door you get a cup holder with some storage and controls for your power windows and door locks and outside mirrors too. There's also a bit of storage here. Even the speakers look cool and modern. Very nice. Overall, the interior is very attractive and I think also very well thought out. Out back you get a cargo net on each seat for storage and seating for 3 across. Pop the trunk and you can see that you've got a cover here and also decent storage. Of course, fold the back seats down and you get excellent amounts of storage. Powering the Kia Soul EV is a 109 horsepower engine with a 27 kilowatt hour lithium-ion polymer battery. 0 to 60 takes 11.2 seconds onto a top speed of 90 miles per hour. Fuel economy is rated at 120 miles per gallon E in the city and 92 miles per gallon E on the highway. That equals 32 kilowatt hours per 100 miles or 105 mpge overall. EPA figures show it will cost you about $600 per year to charge the Kia Soul EV. Charge time is 4 hours with a 240 volt charger and about 8 hours on a regular outlet. Okay, so I just started off my day in the Kia Soul EV and it says an 83 mile range. So let's see how it does. And so now I've driven 20 miles and about 21 miles have come off the range down to 62 now. So it seems that it's actually pretty accurate in terms of what it says you have left in range, and that's a very important thing with an electric car. And those 20 miles have been a combination of both city and highway driving, so that's a pretty good indicator that the Kia Soul EV here is very accurate in terms of its range. Now, pricing for the 2015 Kia Soul EV starts out at $35,700. Carpeted floor mats are really the only option, so with destination, you're out the dealer door at $36,625. Now, you also get a $7,500 federal tax credit for buying an electric vehicle, and that brings you down to $29,125, and that's a square deal. Very, very competent electric vehicle, lots of utility for under $30K. That's something that no one else has given you so far in the electric vehicle market. The Nissan Leaf is $30,000, but only has a range of 75 miles, and it's a lot smaller than the Soul EV. The BMW i3 and Mercedes B-Class EVs are more comparable in terms of utility, but they're at least $7,000 more. The Toyota RAV4 is a true SUV, but it's almost $50,000. The Kia Soul EV is really quite luxurious by any measure. It boasts heated and ventilated seats, Sirius XM radio, navigation, push-button start with keyless entry, a heated steering wheel, rear backup camera, heated rear seats, Bluetooth, aux input for your smarter iPhone, and a USB input as well. It's really a comfortable vehicle. If you think you have to suffer to save the world, you're definitely wrong. You won't be using any gas, plus you'll be making a strong environmental statement, all while enjoying luxuries that are usually only available on premium luxury automobiles that cost twice as much. People on the street will definitely notice you as well. I've had a lot of people checking out the Soul EV, and one guy in particular was shocked by the lack of radiator in front. He was impressed to see that it was an electric vehicle. Start your commute every day at the same time? No problem. You can actually program the Kia Soul EV to have the temperature at 72 degrees for you, no matter what the temperature is outside. It's really awesome and forward thinking that you can program it to actually be ready for you whenever you leave for work. It's a really nice thing to get into a comfortable car without having to freeze or be too hot. The heating and ventilation for the car is actually independent. It works much like the one in your house. So it heats up and cools down the car very quickly. I was really surprised to see how quickly that it heated up the car in very cold weather. Just about 2 or 3 minutes actually. And with the heated steering wheel and heated and cooled seats in front and even heated seats in back, well, that's just icing on the cake. Okay, so I've reached my destination. I got 44 miles left on the range, and I'm going to go ahead and charge her up. That button pops open the front to give access to the charger. Then you just open this up and plug it on in. And then you're charging. Go ahead and do what you've got to do, and when you get back, hopefully you'll be all charged up. This dash top indicator lets you know your charging status. It's a great turn here. Checking out how the Soul EV handles it. Beautifully. Predictable handling. No problems. Sure, it's not a speed demon, but that's not the point of this. It's an electric car, and it hung on to that turn better than I thought it would. No problems. And check out the night look here. Really nice infotainment screen. Tells you everything you need all at the same time. Colors are nice. And look at the master gauges here. Very nice. Great color choices. A little red over here and red on the steering wheel, which I've never been a fan of. A little too much red down here too. But overall, very nice look. And most importantly, it displays everything you really want to see in a very efficient way. Nice. I really like the large navigation screen. This is the home setting, and you can see the navigation and also your radio channel and song, and also you have quick access to the EV Eco menu and all menus in general, plus your own custom menu. So that's a great home screen. The Eco screen gives you useful information about your range, nearby charging stations, and overall energy information, plus other buttons to link you into more information. My initial driving impressions of the Kia Soul EV really tell me that it's not only a great EV, but it's really a great car. First off, the Kia Soul is kind of a square, hip-looking vehicle, and that square shape, of course, gimes you lots of room for cargo. Fold the back seats down and you can fit a whole bunch of stuff back there. Furniture. Heck, you could move in this car. You could sleep in this car. And for an EV, that is really just icing on the cake. This is a very unique EV offering you all that utility. Plus almost 100-mile range. It's really at the top of the category. A lot of EVs are still offering only like a 40-mile range. So this one at almost 100 miles is really very good in terms of range. And in terms of luxury and tech, it's got it all. You can hook up your smarter iPhone, USB jump drive, heated and cooled seats, that's right, ventilated too, and a heated steering wheel. It's a very comfortable car, nice high seating position. If you want it, you can pump the seat up so short or tall, anyone's going to be comfortable driving the Kia Soul EV. I think it's a very well engineered car, and certainly as an EV, well, like I said, just icing on the cake. I think the Kia Soul EV is an important car, being that it's electric. The Soul has a big draw for young car buyers, and it's considered to be quite hip. Kia goes out of their way with the mice and everything to give it a hip image, kind of a disco party image. And it is a very versatile compact SUV that kids can definitely make use of and will actually really desire. And so the fact that this one's an EV will really bring the EV cars to the young generation. Even though they've kind of grown up with them and they've always been around, this is actually one that they might actually want to buy because it does have a lot of appeal. It's got a cool look, and it also has the utility that kids need as they're going to and from school and college and loading all their friends in and going out to parties and that sort of thing. So it's an EV, sure, and very practical, sure, but it's also fun and hip at the same time. It's got that cool image, and that'll certainly help introduce the EVs to future driving generations. It's got all the things that people like in compact utility vehicles and sport utility vehicles too. High seating position, no blind spots all around the vehicle. Now when you're coasting downhill, you're actually charging the battery too. If you use the throttle gently, lay off the throttle, and you go into charge. Use it gently, and you can be in the middle zone where you're not using a lot of power. You see my range is going up to 80 miles. It was down to 67. So keep a gentle throttle, keep the brakes slightly on downhill, and your range will be extended. Large infotainment screen monitor makes for large backup monitor too. Nice. Of course, another interesting aspect of driving an electric vehicle is the quiet. There's no sound whatsoever. It's very peaceful, actually. Soul music in the 50s, 60s, and 70s crossed cultural boundaries and really struck a chord with music fans of all genres. Ow! I feel good driving the Kia Soul. I'm not using any gas, which is of course one of the main reasons we send troops to the Middle East. It's also a youthful vehicle. With marketing showing young hipster mice partying and making the scene in the Soul, the image is appealing to many generations of car buyers. Older car buyers like its utility and its attractive looks and great features, along with its very fair price. The Kia Soul EV has the goods to get both young and more mature drivers to take notice. I think it'll make people who are on the fence about purchasing an EV finally take the plunge. The icing on the cake is that you're in an EV and you're helping to save the world, and at the same time, you've got soul. Ow! I feel good. I'm driving Ivan Katz.